Let's take a look at the Game Boy. Well, hello, retro game players, and thank you for tuning in. I'm Radical Reggie, and today we are talking about the 30th anniversary of the Game Boy system. The Game Boy in Japan came out April 21st, 1989. Believe it came out sometime in July in North America, and I didn't know about the system until I saw a kid at school had one, and I was like, "Whoa, what is this?" I was pretty amazed by it because back then, I mostly saw things like the Game Watch and everything. That was our the Tiger handhelds. Those were the type of things I saw. But to see a full-fledged like portable console that was like kind of like had graphics similar to the Nintendo, that was pretty amazing. So I want to take you guys back to a story back in Christmas of 1990. I'll never forget it because that was the Christmas my parents got me a Game Boy system. Now, when I first mentioned it to him that I wanted one, my dad was totally against it. He said, "No, you ain't getting that thing. You gonna take it to school?" And that was my first thought of taking it to school and playing it at school. My dad was funny. They even mentioned, what are you gonna play it in the bathtub? I was like, "Oh, I actually thought about playing it in the bathtub, like not on the side, but not like while you're in the tub, but on the side, because I didn't want to drop it in there, of course." But that's just kid thoughts and everything. I just thought it was pretty amazing to have like a game console that was not a game console, but like something that was very like close to the consoles to be portable. That was just amazing back then, and the commercials that they put out for it were just like they just blew me away. So Christmas 1990, my parents got me the system, and I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. I was blown away. And this is back when like systems actually came with games. They don't have that anymore. Usually you buy a system, you get a demo or something like that. But this actually came with Tetris. Now, I wasn't too fond about Tetris at first, but I remember I let my friend play it, and he really liked Tetris. And, then I started liking it as well. I mean, Tetris was actually pretty fun and addicting as well. But since my birthday was pretty much a little bit after Christmas, I got another game, and that game was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Fall of the Foot Clan. Now, this game, I'm a big Ninja Turtle fan, and this game was a lot of fun. Definitely better than the Ninja Turtles game on Nintendo, the first one. This one is a lot better, a lot more linear, I would say, in a way. It's definitely easier to get into. But this was the second and only game I had for the system. And you guys are probably like, wow, you only had 2 games for the Game Boy? Well, yes, because I went to visit my grandmother in Arkansas, and I took my Game Boy to the bowling alley because that's when we were playing arcade games there as well. And I didn't really have quarters like my other friends did, so I would play the Game Boy, and of course I got distracted and I set that sucker down, and it got lost in the bowling alley, and that was the last time I saw my Game Boy. I always regretted it. I regretted it as much as you can when you're a kid. I knew I wasn't going to get another one because my mom would ask, "What happened to your game? What happened to the one you had before?" So, I didn't actually get another Game Boy system until the Game Boy Color came out, which was years later. But at the time, I kind of fell off when it went up to that point. But I was disappointed because I never got to play games like Castlevania, Adventure, and what else was there? There was actually some DuckTale games on the system. There was a lot of games I missed out on. But over time, I decided to get them in the future when I got my new Game Boy collection now, which I'm pretty much going to show you guys in a bit. But before I get into that, guys, I want to show you guys a couple commercials just to kind of like get you pumped up for how great the Game Boy was back when it was like real popular. I mean, the commercials that Nintendo put out, they used to just get you pumped up for it.
Obey me, Wario. I am your master. Mario is your enemy.
The wicked imposter Wario has cast an evil spell over Mario Land.
Don't let Mario get the 6 golden coins. Don't let Mario reach the palace.
This is the biggest, most dangerous, most challenging Game Boy adventure yet.
Obey Wario. Destroy Mario.
Don't fall under Wario's evil spell in Super Mario Land 2, only on Game Boy.
adults aren't supposed to have fun. Wake up. We can do whatever we want. Drive racing cars to work, play golf in our pajamas, tennis on the bus, or baseball in our mother-in-law's living room. All you need is a Game Boy. It's a personal game-playing system with over 200 puzzle, action, and sports games to choose from. Hey, fun is your reward for growing up. Start playing.
You really got to get one of these.
Game Boy by Nintendo. Have you had your fun today? The adult world is designed to keep us moving. And while this may make us more efficient, it's not exactly a party. Luckily, technology has produced a cure. It's called a Game Boy, the personal game-playing system from Nintendo, with lots of sports, action, and puzzle games to choose from. And it comes with the puzzle game Tetris. It could change your outlook.
I'm sorry, sir. Your flight's been delayed.
Cool.
Game Boy by Nintendo. Have you had your fun today?
All right, those commercials were pretty crazy, right? Man, Nintendo really has some creative ideas for commercials. 30 years is a long time, and I've been pretty much a follower of the Game Boy systems, all the way up into the Game Boy Advance. Me and my buddy Evan, he's the only other person I know that's a big Game Boy collector like myself, man. I mean, he's hardcore. And I would say I used to be hardcore with it. I think I pretty much got the games I want. I go for games in box because the reason I do that is because the cartridge only, I lost a couple games that way. So I said, after that happened, I said, never again. I'm going to have all my games uniform in their complete box. So I pretty much have done that. And of course, I moved on to the Game Boy Color, which was a big deal when that came out. Color and everything. It still didn't have a light in it, which was pretty annoying. But they had a workaround with it. They had the worm light, if you guys remember that. I remember when I got to an AIT training in the military. That's when we got a little bit of freedom. We were doing our job training. We didn't get our pass at first because we were holdovers for a long time. We didn't even get to go to school on time. We had to be holdovers because the classes were full. So that means we had to stay there longer than we needed to. So we needed to find ways to entertain ourselves. So, I had a friend, I believe one of my friends, I think it was Connerly, he went to Toys R Us for me because he had a pass because he was in class. And he got me the Game Boy. I gave him the money, he got me the Game Boy. And he brought it back to me, and I was playing that at night, playing some games and having a great time. It was a lot of fun, actually. Even though the worm light wasn't that great, it was great for back then because I was keeping my sanity a little bit. I got to play a little bit of video games, which was nice. Going on to the Game Boy Advance. The Game Boy Advance is probably what I would call the definite sequel to the Super Nintendo. I mean, it's actually a 32-bit system, which a lot of people don't know. And that thing could really do a lot of damage, man. It's a powerful system, but to make the games you want to make for it, that pretty much would take full of the capabilities of the system, it'd be really expensive. And I've seen some test demos for it, and like Resident Evil 2 running on the Game Boy Advance, and they did a great job, but you got to think how much that would cost for that game to work on the Game Boy Advance system to make a full-fledged Resident Evil 2 game on there. That'd be pretty crazy, and the game cart would probably be pretty expensive. But going back to the Game Boy system, I mean, seriously, guys, it's I don't know, even though it was black and white, I mean, looking at that screen now, you would think, like, how the hell can you look at something like that? I mean, that green screen, it wasn't like that back then, it was pretty, I would say, if you had some good batteries in the system, at least, you got some pretty good black and white or greenish quality in the system. I mean, other systems like the Game Gear and what was the Atari Lynx, they were in color and everything. But those damn things, they didn't last long when you played them portable, especially the Game Gear. That thing took 6 AA batteries, and those batteries are drained fast. And batteries, your parents, they're like, what the hell? You drained those batteries already? What the hell's going on? So, the Game Boy batteries actually lasted a good while. I don't remember how long, but they did a good while at least. And I just have a lot of fond memories with this system. There was a story I wanted to tell you guys about the Game Boy. I think I already mostly told you about it when I lost it, unfortunately. But the Game Boy always put a smile on my face, and it's just kind of really amazing that 30 years have passed, and it's like, wow, I'm feeling kind of old and everything with it. Like, it didn't seem that long ago I was seeing the Dr. Mario Game Boy commercial on TV, which was pretty dang funny if you guys remember that commercial. Pretty hilarious. But even now, I would say I'm a decent collector of the Game Boy. This is the Game Boy complete in box, and this is not my original one that I lost years ago. My buddy X actually found the box for this, and he decided to hook me up with it. So after he gave this to me, I said, you know what, man, I got to get the Game Boy. And you know what was weird? For some reason right now, Game Boys are going for a little bit of money now. Like I had to get this one for $40. I was like, what the hell? This should be like $10 or less, or well, not less, about $10 at least. Some reason the Game Boy is becoming popular again. I will never play on this screen because it's too much strain on your eyes, but just as nostalgia to remember, what I had back in the day. That's one of the reasons I like having this. And I'll never forget the Christmas. My mom, how she had it wrapped up. It was wrapped up just like this, so I didn't know what it was exactly. And I'll never forget how happy it was when I saw the Game Boy. So this is kind of like bringing me back to that memory. So X, if you're watching, man, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you. And another thing, shout out to X too. He's the one that reminded me that it was the 30th anniversary of the Game Boy. So that's why this video is happening. So X, give yourself a pat on the back, man. But yeah, here it is in box. I plan on putting some more stuff in here. It's not totally complete, but I need to get a couple like the headphones and a couple other things. Just the headphones, I think, and it'll be complete. But yeah, there's that. And I got this cool accessories here too, the Game Genie. I haven't really used it yet, but this is actually pretty cool. I don't think I'll really ever plan on using this, but it's just nice to have it there. My buddy John Riggs actually gave this to me a while back. So John, if you're watching, thank you for this, man. Appreciate you. And yeah, guys, that's all I have for the Game Boy video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Celebrate the Game Boy, but I wouldn't recommend playing on the original hardware. I would play on another Game Boy system, or if you have a mod on your Game Boy, like a light on it or something like that, play on that, just to kind of, yeah, that'll be a lot better at least. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for you. I'm glad you watched the video. Radical Reggie, and I will see you guys later.